One of the most underrated Jordans of all time is the Jordan 9. And to me, it's a great looking sneaker. It's a return to form after the middling to average years of the Jordan 6, 7, and 8s. Jordans 1 through 5, iconic. Jordans 6, 7, and 8s, meh. Jordans 9 through 13, absolutely iconic as well. So I really do like the Jordan 9s. I have reviewed them for the channel a couple of times. I think there was a UNC colorway in there, and then there was a more colorful colorway in there, and I forget the name of it. I've got is it Do It? Something Do It, See It, Do It, or something like that. Think It, Do It, maybe. And this is the third pair. These Gym Reds that are dropping in that classic kind of white, black, red colorway. And I do like I say, the Jordan 9s. And there's a few things in there that are that I really appreciate about this particular sneaker. So I'm looking forward to bringing you today my review of the Nike Air Jordan 9 Gym Red. This is the Talking About It 23 Sneaker Channel. Talking About It 23 Sneaker Channel. This Mainichi Upsune no De, Mainichi Mite Kudasai. And every single day I bring you content from Tokyo, Japan about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news, and sneaker reviews. And today it's the Nike Air Jordan 9 Gym Red that we're looking at. I'm going to bring you through a couple of the features on there, especially that little piece of Japanese writing that I appreciate very much about these sneakers. But before that, this is a YouTube channel, and YouTube channels need subscribers. So please do hit that subscribe button down below and help the channel to grow. And as I am here in Tokyo, Japan, I say at the start of every single one of my videos, Toroku, yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Toroku buttonをクリックすると、登録するので、登録ぜひよろしくお願いします。Okay, now let's have a look at these sneakers. I'm going to go top to bottom with these guys because there are some features up high that I really appreciate about on this sneaker. So we're going to start on the tongue. And the first thing I like is that that kind of rectangular square rectangular patch that's right at the top of the tongue there, which I think says Air Jordan on it. In black and red, so it's a black background with the red writing on it, which I think offsets the colorway, because it's a predominantly white and red colorway, but with that black up there at the top of the tongue, and then if we come down ever so slightly into the lacing system, those black eye stays on there, which sort of add that third color in there behind the white and the red, which I think balances the sneaker out really, really nicely. So starting up there on the tongue, you've got that patch of branding on there. Now, usually what I would do now is I'd go all the way around the back of the sneaker, down the ankle and the Achilles, and then into the midfoot where the color sort of cups the entire sneaker. But before we do that, we're going to go back to the heel and the ankle and the Achilles section there and stop, because the pull tab on the back there is pretty cool. And there's two things I like about it. One is I like how large and sort of enlarged it is. But the other thing I like is that it's sort of plugged at the end there with a circle, which is a globe, and then a Jumpman on the top of that. And that to me is a really cool feature. And standing above those 23s in white, which pop right out in contrast to the red there, I really like that back of this sneaker with the pull tag on the back there, that globe with the Jumpman, and then the 23s all kind of, built into that red that I was talking about that goes down the back of the sneaker and then into the midfoot. And if we do follow that line down into the back of the sneaker and then along the midfoot where the mud guards are, and if you saw my video on Tuesday about the NMD R1's mud guards, this is what I'm talking about, how on basketball sneakers the mud guard's an essential element for performance, and the way that they've chosen to do it with this particular sneaker is having those kind of claw mud guards that come up out of the outsole in the same color as that wrap of red that's coming down. Sometimes they're in contrast, but in the case of these, they're both in red, and I think it looks pretty good. Now, before we get to the front of the sneaker, we can stop at that heel section on the midsole, and you can see a black Jumpman emblazoned on that white chunk of midsole there on the heel section there. And that, if you flip these guys upside down, is reflected with a Jumpman, a much larger black Jumpman on the white outsole on there as well. Now, there are three things on the outsole that I always like to look at when I look at 9s. First, it's the Japanese writing on there, which says Sekai Sports, which means world sports in Japanese on there. But then the other things I like about it is I like that 1994, which is obvious kind of, really. I mean, it's easy to read the 9 1994. But the 23 is the bit that I really like because it's hard to read that it's a 23. It reminds me of the the Jordan 5 Tokyos, and they had 23 emblazoned on sort of heel counter. And until you knew it said 23, you didn't know it said 23. But once you could see it said 23, you were like, oh, that's cool. And it's a bit like that on the back of the outsole, where maybe you don't realize it says it, but then when you see it and you're like, oh, okay, that actually says that. That's pretty cool. And it's probably somewhere behind me now where you can actually see that. So yeah, the outsole of Jordan 9s is one of the things I like very much, especially because of that Japanese writing in there. So all in all, though, I say yes, very big yes on these. Anything that's black, red and white, generally speaking in the sneaker world, gets a lot of people interested. And then in the case of these, I think they've done a really good job of balancing out the colours. The predominantly white and red is sort of, what's the word, diluted a bit, maybe that's the right word for it, with the black, like I said before, in the lace stays and on that branding on the tongue there, which I think sort of softens it down a bit and really brings us a nice looking sneaker. So I'm very much yes about these Nike Air Jordan 9 Gym Reds, and I hope you two out there as well appreciate them and like them too. Now, before I check off, as I do at the end of all my videos, I would like to point you back to Thursday. Shoe Butter, as many of you know, is in town. If you know who Shoe Butter is, that's a big deal, and having him dropping content for the first time in 2 years is a massive deal. And we did that on Thursday. He was kind enough to shoot a video with me here in my green screen lab, and it was a question and answer session with him talking about the butter movement a little bit. So if you're interested in the butter movement, if you know what the butter movement is, and if you miss it, then definitely check out that video and see what Shoe Butter had to say about that, and also see what he has to say about dropping more content in the coming weeks and months ahead, which is a very exciting thing for me personally and for my channel in general. So if you're interested in those things, if you're interested in seeing one of the greatest YouTubers, shoe tubers and shoe collectors of all time, definitely check out yesterday's video was it yesterday or the day before? And enjoy that content. But for now, it's time for me to sign off and do what I do at the end of every single one of my videos, which is tell you that you're guaranteed to see me every day, which means you're guaranteed to see me tomorrow.